Hello, everyone. My name is Debbie Combest. I am the state treasurer for the moment. With me to present the budget tonight is Kathy Brayman, who is actually is the president of the Fredericksburg League, which is also what I am part of. Kathy and I and three other folks were on the budget committee. We had Grace White from oh my gosh, I just drew a blank. Prince William.
Oh
yeah, Prince William, and Leslie Ratterman, who is also part of the Fredericksburg League, but has a background in finance. And our fifth member was Andrea Caucus, membership chair. Those three couldn't be on tonight, obviously. So what do we have here? This is a little different from what will be in your workbook, but I just kind of blew it up a little bit and made some comments on the side for anybody that might help with how we work this budget. Kathy, did you want to start, or you want me to say it a little bit, or how do you want to do this?
You can start and I'll just
Okay. I've been actually part of the budget committee for quite a few years, even before I took over from Linda Garvelink. So just once, the biggest thing about this budget that we worked on is that this draft is around $20,000 less than in previous years. The main reason being is that we have the use of Zoom, and we're doing all the meetings virtually, so we're not paying out for parking or venues, et cetera, et cetera. So that is actually as annoying as it can be, never to be live or not live very often. It has really helped financially for us. So this is this left side is the budget categories, and then over here is the draft for this coming year, which starts July 1st and goes through June 30th of 2024. Gosh, I can't get over there. Now I'm confused. I can get this to work. That's probably too small. Is that too small for everybody? Too small.
I think it was better.
Yeah, I just couldn't get over here to see. Well, I'll tell you what.
We can say what's on the right-hand side.
Okay.
Tell us what it is.
Yes, like over here, the revenues that we expect or hope to gain. Now, this first, the MAL units, individual dues, the PMP, local leagues, this number 536 and 23,776 is based on the February 1st PMP per member payments that are any of you treasurers? I just don't know off the top of my head. Based on PMP as of February 1st. And those are the numbers that National sends to us. Here, shared insurance that we bring in is money from the local leagues that are unincorporated. The unincorporated local leagues share in the state falls under the umbrella of the state's liability insurance. So they pay us, there's about 9 leagues that fall under that category and pay about $50 for the year, which is quite a good, because if they were incorporated, they'd be paying the same amount that we pay for the league, it'd be thousands of dollars. So it's good, very good. Kathy, did you want to say anything going on down or?
No, donations from the members, $1,000, non-members or businesses, $1,000. Wear sales, $500, we can hope.
And I think they're hoping to get some at convention this weekend.
Yeah, I hope so. The statewide meetings, the convention, obviously our convention is odd years, so we don't have that in this time. The council is even years, which will be next year. Joan, do you know where it is? Or
I don't.
No, the new board will discuss if it'll be virtual, where it'll be, so
Okay.
we'll know in July.
Okay, so
Money. Yeah.
right now we have $7,000 for
Okay.
council next year. The next one is the League Day, which it looks large. It's $5,500, but we're hoping to get promote a higher attendance than we had this year. So that's why that figure is as large as it is. Deb, do you want to talk about the Ed Fund?
Sure. Well, just first off, pre-session, it was decided that it's going to be virtual this year, so we didn't put any money there. That's okay. And the Ed Fund expense reimbursement is, we are allowed to take 10% of the operating expenses that were used in the up fund, take 10% of that amount and transfer from the education fund into the operating fund. And so this is a guesstimate. That 1305 is based on, it's kind of based on this budget, assuming we're going to use on the operating part, use all that money, that's like for the rent, et cetera, et cetera. But that number won't be set in stone until June of 2024, just like the one this year. I haven't transferred the money yet because we don't really know until closer to the end of June how much we've expensed. So anyway, so that's how we came up with the bottom. Well, let's see, internet web hosting, $200, video conferencing, the Zoom. So that's how we came up with this 42,217 number. And like I said, in the past, we've been at around 60,000. So this is a big hunk lower. So now we'll get into the expenses. And these are all, for the most part, these, let's see. We've just plugged these numbers in, taking into account that it's very similar to what they've been in the past. Maybe upped a little bit for scholarship fund, hoping to use more for their secretary treasurer. $500 is way more than we usually put in, but that is because I requested to transfer the QuickBooks desktop version that I've been using for years to the online version, so that it'll be easier to transfer to new between treasurers and have more people can use it, as opposed to it being just sitting on my computer in my office at home. So that kind of takes us down here. Office support interns. We have interns that we use. It's available to use. These are other numbers. A lot of these are just quite the same from what we've used before, or about how much we spent this year, like the $6,500 for internet tools, services, phone, and Zoom. That's about the real cost. And the office rent for the office down in Richmond, $2,400 is what it is. This in-kind offset down here is for anything, say particularly anyone goes to a meeting and should be reimbursed for it, but they choose not to be reimbursed. It would be an in-kind donation. I need to account for that within the books so that we know how much money we've spent in that particular workshop. And here, even though the convention is in odd years, one of our actually it was Grace White, very smartly noted that we should put some money in the 23-24 budget in case the convention in 2025, whatever venue is picked, needs a down payment within this fiscal year. So that's where the $2,500 comes in for that. Down here is what Kathy was talking about earlier. We always try to offset everything. We don't want to take it. We don't want to spend more money than we're taking in. So we hope that we at least break even. So that's like here, the 5,500 to promote league day with local leagues for WLRTs. That's how much we think we might have to spend. And so we hope that we, get that much back by somebody. Anyway, this isn't my bailiwick. So anybody, Kathy, anything else to say? Anybody have any questions?
I think what we did was try to pare down where we could. And I think, personally, I think the Zoom is a fantastic piece of work for us because it does cut down on expenses. But as I say, it's balanced out. 5,000 looks like a lot for the league day, but I think it's going to be next year very, very important for us to advertise and get a lot of people out to league day. It's so. As I say, Grace was wonderful, especially putting in the amount for this year in case we have to put a deposit down for the 25 convention.
Judith, you had a question?
Yes, and I see that in the chat, one question is exactly, and I had the question about $5,000 for strategic planning, and that's a big increase from last year. But I also wanted, I don't know what an MAL is. Can you tell me what an MAL is?
Oh, those are members at large.
Members at large.
They're not members of a specific local league that, let's say, like
just for the state as a whole. Okay.
Exactly. Like our Fredericksburg League start off just with MAL members.
Okay. Members. Okay. Thank you.
The 5,000, let's see in the chat.
Pat.
About 5,000 for strategic planning. That was, the board was, this used to be the BOD expenses used to be around $10,000. We pared that down to 2,000, and then the strategic planning is to cover workshops, et cetera, et cetera. Am I right, Joan? We were
trainings. Yeah, is that what trainings?
Yeah.
We might need to bring in speakers for trainings.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Let's see, Susan. You had a question?
Yeah, you've got a balance to the penny. Is there a slush fund in case something goes high and something goes over?
Oh gosh, yes. Yes, we would transfer from checking or savings, from checking mainly. We are fine. We're doing fine with our money. We have a nice account, a bank account right now that has grown over the last couple of years because of Zoom, because we weren't using the money. So it just kind of grew a little bit. So yes, we're not going to default or go bankrupt. At least not this year. Not while I'm in Congress.
As Deb says, last year we had a strategic planning meeting, which was excellent. It was for the presidents and the board members. We had it in Richmond, and excuse me.
Must be your account.
It was excellent. It was a real good meeting. I think it gave us a lot of ideas, and it helps to get people together to brainstorm. So.
Yeah, it was very good.
Yeah.
But it didn't cost 5,000. So by any means,
No,
but
no, it didn't.
But
I
that
think we
kind
just-
of thing plus trainings is very important to have the ability to do.
A lot of the trainers will be $1,000 themselves, you know, the cost for the trainer.
Sometimes, yeah.
So actually, you know,
Can
we're
I
doing
interject a
well
second?
right now. Oh, I'm sorry. Mhm.
I just wanted to say the trainer that we had last summer gave us a very, very good deal, which was appreciated. And we're not quite sure how membership is going to shift to national and what's going to be involved in that. There could be trainings with that. So it's helpful to have this money in there to make sure that we do a smooth transition.
Okay. Any other comments, Kathy, that you can think of? I mean, it really, when I first took over, there was a deficit in the, I mean, there was money was tight. And like I said, it just really, I mean, as bad as COVID, et cetera was, it did help us with our accounts. So now we're on much better footing. So,
Carolyn?
This may be too soon, and it's not really on your operating budget, but I am wondering if I would be able to make donations to my local league and the state league once the National League takes over.
They have assured us that will continue. Yes.
I'm sorry?
Yes, they have assured us that local leagues and state leagues will take donations.
Thank you.
okay, they'll take, okay. So local leagues will still take on the donations themselves. Okay, good.
Susan?
Yeah, this is probably a stupid question, but do you have education funds? Is that separate?
Yes, yes.
And so is there a budget for education funds?
Yes, and it's in the workbook. I didn't bring it out because you don't vote on that.
Okay,
Just the operating budget is what's voted on, but it's in the workbook.
okay, thank you.
And it's small. It's small because it's mainly to handle the grants. Okay, anybody else? No? Everybody good? Any questions? This is it's not my comfort zone, guys, so.
Thank you all
Anything
for being here.
We weren't expecting anybody.
Right.
Last time I did this with Linda Garvelink, I guess it was at the last time we all met, nobody came. I wasn't expecting anybody to show up. But then wasn't fair because really there were a whole bunch of caucuses at the same time. And I'm sure if you were given a choice between budget or one of the programs, you pick the program over the budget. So anyway, I'm actually pleased with what the work the group did on the budget. I thought it came out nice. It's what I mean, you'll see it in the budget that's in the workbook that we really haven't spent much money this year, even though our the bottom line was like 62,000. I think we spent like 25,000 so far. I mean, a lot of it's gonna go finish up with the convention this weekend. But okay. We all good? I thank you.
Thank
much.
you. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Oh, wait a minute, there's a chat. Who's there? Oh, thank you.